So here we have an old sight glass from a boiler that I'd like to restore. And this thing is just filled up with rust, like I've never seen before. This was the top section, and that looks pretty good. The bottom section definitely has some issues, but oh well. You can definitely tell which orientation it's at. You can barely even see through it. I saw some rust in it. That's unfortunate. You can barely see it. It does say glass. Glass 6. Oh, I cannot read that. Weird. Oh well. Let's see if this can clean that out. That is really stuck on there on the inside. That is unfortunate. Oh, it's getting some big chunks now. A good amount came off there. So it seems like it's actually very strong once it's a ring, but if you break that ring, the ring can come apart. Oh wow, look at that. The entire thing went. Wow, that is weird. Does it look like it's eaten through the glass to you? Over here, on the top part, it's nice and smooth. Over here, you can actually see where the line was. It's actually eaten through the glass. This is the one that was leaking. I think this seal is bad. Or it wasn't down tight enough. I'm not sure. I'll look into how to replace these seals. And we can do that someday in the future. Well, the weather's gotten nicer, so we can get the bench grinder out and use the wire wheel to really clean this stuff up. As this part's dried, I've really started to notice how much damage this glass tube took from the rust. And that's just really terrible. The top part where there wasn't any water seems pretty good. Bottom part definitely has some scoring. Or whatever you got. I don't really know what that is. Weird. Good news though. You can evidently buy the tube and the gaskets online on eBay for pretty cheap. Like 30 bucks for the whole thing. I mean, that's not bad for a custom made part. Or, well, a part specifically made for this. So it looks like you can actually replace these little gaskets, so it's nice to know. I might see about replacing the gaskets and the valves too. However, I will be doing a hydrostatic test on this before I ever use it. Like, well, whenever I put it together in a boiler, I'll be doing a hydrostatic test on the entire thing. So, if this blows up from the pressure, well, then I'll know to replace it. And because it'll be a hydrostatic test, it'll be filled with water, which doesn't expand. If it was filled with air, then it would explode. But if it's water, it more just fractures and the water just kind of goes everywhere, which is a lot safer, you know. So yeah, I'll be testing this anyway. If it holds up, if it doesn't leak, if these gaskets hold up, then that's good enough. But judging by this, I think it probably would leak because there's just all this junk over everything. Oh, and my suspicion that this boiler had never had any maintenance done on it was actually proven true. The current owner, my friend John, told me that the previous owner of the Red Rooster Inn never did any maintenance on the boiler, and he even told him that you have to fill up the water every 2 days. That is bad. Especially for a boiler that's what, 10 years old? That's horrible. So since the water had to be filled up so much and it was leaking so much water, I wouldn't doubt that some of the stuff was also other minerals and whatnot from water. It was obviously very hard. Ugh. Now I figure since I just wire wheeled this that the surfaces are pitted and so they probably wouldn't seal very well. So if I crank them down really hard, then I undo them. Oh yeah, that makes a really nice, very smooth connection. Perfect. So I might do the same for the other pieces later on. Look at that. Very steampunky. Oops. It actually looks almost a little bit better in indirect sunlight, because then you can actually see the difference. There's a little bit of more coppery look to this part, and a little more brass-ish look to this part, to the fittings. It's so cool. Oh my god. Really makes me want to find a nice container to be the boiler. If I could find some really nice 1 foot wide pipe, like from an oil line or something, or from an oil refinery or something, like really thick walls that I could weld to, that'd be so nice. I'm going to be making a boiler. I want it to be several gallons, because I want to definitely be able to run a few steam engines. Well, not at the same time, but I want to have, you know, a couple different sizes I can do, and actually do some useful stuff with it, like run equipment. Well, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.